more important in the long run, infrastructure or how this talk with China goes tonight?
Yeah, I think according to Democrats, probably infrastructure, Kelly. If you actually look at how this bipartisan infrastructure framework or the BIF polls among the electorate, it actually polls pretty well. So I think the Democrats want to get some points on the board, pivot to then their Build Back Better agenda, which actually also polls very well, and then pivot to the messaging about the benefits. I think this has been something that's sort of been lost in this process, this debate about the price tag, that many of these benefits that actually, again, poll pretty well among the electorate have not necessarily been clearly communicated. So I think we'll see Democrats really trying to focus on getting those done and then pivoting to the benefits before going into the midterms.
I thought it was interesting that Larry Summers said, despite his criticism of the administration's earlier bills for stoking inflation and all the rest of it, that he would still support Build Back Better and kind of agreed with the premise that it could even reduce inflation in the long run. So very, for me, surprising take from somebody who's been concerned about this. I wonder how much the administration maybe regrets that $1 trillion spending package back in January, which seems to be the one that is now causing the most concern about inflation and maybe accomplished the least from a messaging point of view.
Right. And if you remember, there was that $1 trillion it was in December and then $1.9 trillion in March. So we have seen collectively $5 trillion being put into the economy since the beginning of COVID. Now, I think that, both Democrats and many Republicans who voted for similar packages during the Trump administration will say that those things were necessary. They needed to stave off a recession. But maybe in hindsight, especially that one in March in particular, maybe that some of that kind of cash in folks' pockets did end up being more inflationary than what they predicted. But now, as you said, Larry Summers is sort of reinforcing what the Biden administration is saying is that this could actually be dampening for inflation, could actually increase labor force participation, and that could, put more of a dampen on inflation. So that's at least the messaging around this, because they do understand that inflation really is a political problem, if not an economic problem.
Sure, and the messaging right now seems to be around releasing barrels of oil from the strategic petroleum reserve, which I don't think anybody thinks is really a cure, and maybe you need it given some of the pipeline and supply chain problems we've had. You kind of want the idea that there's a supply in case we need it this time around. Are there any other ideas that you've heard floating around that you think could be, political winners and actually help on the inflation front?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I mean, in terms of the SPR, I think our view is that would be incredibly incremental at best. Other ideas, obviously a reduction in the tariffs on the Chinese goods. I don't think we will see an announcement around that tonight, but maybe you could be laying the foundation for something in the future. Anything that's going to help the supply chain. And this has been one idea that we know that the administration has considered, sending the National Guard in to increase trucking supply, to sort of decrease some of that pressure on ports and to help inventory. So I think what you will see this administration doing, and what they've done in the last few weeks, is trying to at least give the perception that they realize that this is a problem. Again, if not an economic problem, definitely a political problem, and we'll try to pull the levers. But the reality is, Kelly, and this, is that the administration can only do so much.
Sure.
And some of this will be the Fed as well, of course.